Welcome everybody, Dave and Jess here from EuroTourGuide.
With our coach trip still on hold and life throwing everything at us but the kitchen sink, it's very important that we keep up with these positive places to help us through. Where are we, Jess, today?
Today we are in Jacarilla at the palace of the Marques de Fontabla.
Let's learn a little bit of history about the Vega Baca. Square kilometres of this little village, about 12 square kilometres, with a population in 2011 of just over 2,000 people, with which 20% were registered foreign.
It's been a municipality since 1572 when it was created and governed by the Mayorgazo family. Passed through that family line for over 300 years until the death of Jose Joaquin on the 28th of November 1899.
It's a lovely place to come, very tranquil, very easy. Just pack a packed lunch and enjoy the gardens like we are today.
When he died, Jose's estate was distributed in 1901 among his 3 children, with Alfonso Salvador, known as the Baron of Petres, inheriting the town of Jacarilla. Unfortunately, the Baron became bankrupt in 1909 and he was forced to sell the town of Jacarilla to Francisco Marques de Fontabla. Just 2 days after the sale, the Baron died in Madrid.
Lots of history to this place. Let's do the next step of the story.
Yes, Francisco the Marques de Fontabla, he was a financial magnate who invested heavily in real estate as well as being a politician. His father was actually the architect who designed the Almunda Cathedral in Madrid opposite the palace.
That's interesting.
So the original manor house that he brought from the Baron was demolished, and between 1916 and 1922 the Marques of Fontabla built the new complex that you can see today. It was for his retreat for relaxing and recreation. So the project included the palace, the large gardens, the small pine forest which is behind the palace, and the church, as well as barracks for the Guardia Civil. In addition, the Marques gave land to build 2 schools next to the church, one for boys and one for girls.
Leaving the Avenida de Palms, just through the Lion's Arch, past the courtyard, into the beautiful gardens again, and where we find the church.
The church was dedicated to Our Lady of Encarnacion in honour of the Marques's wife, but today it's dedicated to the patron saint of Jacarilla, Our Lady of the Belen or Bethlehem, whose saint day is at the beginning of September. The church was finished in 1922, and although it was built really as a private chapel for the Marques and his family, he did make sure there was enough room for all of the population of the village, which at that time was around 900.
Interesting, and from here we move on to the main house itself, just following the park, enjoying the tranquility, folks.
The palace that you can see here today was the one that was originally built by the Marques de Fontabla. It was 800 square metres and is a U-shape, and it's a very functional house in terms of the design. On the ground floor were the reception rooms with other recreation rooms, the dining room, the kitchen, the guest rooms and the servant quarters. Whilst on the first floor were the bedrooms of the lords, along with some splendid marble bathrooms.
As we can all see, it's looking a little bit dilapidated and unloved. What's the future folds for it, Jess?
Well, in 1993, the gardens were donated to the town hall, and then in 2009, the palace was. Since that date, Jacarilla has started the application for both the gardens and the palace to be included in the BIC, Places of Cultural Interest Register, and this will help them with funding for the restoration. So far the gardens have been partly restored, and it's reported that the rehabilitation of the palace will begin in 2021. The plan for the palace is to create a cultural space with an exhibition hall where the back of the U will become enclosed, so it become like an O, and that's where they'll install the modern facilities such as the lift for disabled access and public toilets as well. And the council want to use the whole complex as a wedding venue.
Sounds good to me, Jess. The perfect place to redo those vows.
As we walk along the Avenida de Palms, there's a little bit of scandal history to be told. What is it, Dave?
Well, the Marques appointed Juan Joig, a retired general, to administrate his properties. Juan had a son called Juanito, who was a sickly child. And on Monday, the 5th of October, 1925, Juan had to go to Orihuela to buy some special medicine for Juanito. Juan decided to stop by the house of his eldest son, Carlos, to ask him to go and sit with Juanito whilst he went to get the medicine.
Very sensible.
Carlos agreed and took his 3-year-old daughter to the hand and walked through the beautiful garden of the Marques in the direction of his father's house. What happened next was never exactly discovered by Carlos because he ended up dead with a bullet through his heart. At the time of the shooting, the town was almost deserted. The children at school, the men in their agricultural tasks, the women in their homes, meaning no witnesses from the population of around 900. I say almost because there was a gardener on duty who claimed that he saw a man named Manuel Ballestar Gomez fleeing the scene. It was well known that Juan, the administrator, had not long severely reprimanded Manuel for his bad workmanship. Manuel was arrested in Benijuzar and was admitted into jail in Orihuela. He was found guilty without trial, but was old and ill and died in hospital within a month. In an even more tragic twist, the ill son, whom Carlos had gone to look after, died just 6 months later due to his illness. How very sad.
A tragic tale indeed. We hope you've enjoyed this positive place as much as we have.
Keep going, folks. Stay positive, stay strong, and we'll see you next week.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.